In this video, we will show you how to replace your rear inside door handle on this Chevy Silverado. We're working on the driver's side. The process is the exact same thing on the other side of the vehicle. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Around the inside door handle, you're going to find a plastic trim panel. Use a plastic trim tool to remove it. We'll just make our way in between the two areas here and gently pry them apart. As you go to lift this up, you may have to pull on that inside door handle a little bit and slide that up and out of position. A quick inspection and we can set this aside. Continuing from there, you're going to find that you have two 7mm headed mounting bolts. There's one in this cup holder area and one inside the grab handle. Remove the pair, give them a close inspection, set them aside. With the mounting hardware out of place, we can start removing the door panel from the door. This is held in place with several push clips holding it in. You can either give it a tug by hand or use a plastic trim tool to separate it. Remove the door panel, give it an inspection, and set it aside. Starting from the top area here, let's start pulling down on the vapor barrier. We'll work the handle through the slot. Continue making our way around. A quick inspection of this and we can set it aside temporarily. Let's pause there and have a look along this area. We have our handle. The handle has two T27 Torx bolts holding it in place. Remove the mounting hardware and remove the handle. Start that back in a couple threads here. We'll hold that handle, remove that mounting bolt. Go ahead and remove that handle. We'll give it a quick inspection, make sure it is still in good working order, and set that aside. Let's make our way on the inside area of the door. We can start removing our two 10mm headed mounting nuts that hold this in place. Once you do remove those, this is going to be dislodged. You'll be able to move it around, but there are still two rods that we have to remove from along the back side. Take hold of the unit, remove our final nut here. At this point, we're only going to maneuver it enough that we can gain access to our two rods. If you need to, you can pull it out of the door to gain access. Along the back side here, we have access to our two rods. We have the lower rod and the upper rod. We'll start up along the top here with our small pocket screwdriver. Just pry on this clip right here. It should pop apart and you can remove the rod from the area. There we are. Now we can maneuver this around as needed to gain access to that lower rod here. For this one, you can either use a small prying device or your fingers if necessary. We'll just go ahead and pry that out of place by pulling it away from the rod. Slide the rod straight out and away. There it is, friend. Let's get ready for installation of our brand new inside door handle. We'll start with those two rods. Take the lower one, slide it into place, lock it in with that connector. Listen for a click, give it a tug to make sure it's secured. You do not want either of these rods falling out while you're driving down the road. With the bottom one in place, we'll continue on with the upper rod. Now, when you put this in here, it's important to make sure that you have it at the proper adjustment height. Generally, if you were looking at the threaded portion of the rod, you're going to be able to see exactly where the original was located at. We'll take this and get it back in the same positioning here. Press it in, listen for a click, give it a tug. Let's roll this into place. We'll start on the mounting hardware here, continue on the outboard side. Let's get this in place. We want to make sure that we do have the bolt holes aligned here. Should slide right in. Start in each of your two mounting bolts. We'll snug them up, and then you can torque each of these bolts to 80 inch-pounds. With each of them snug, we'll torque these to 80 inch-pounds. Make our way in here, we'll do the same thing. Snug them, torque them to 80 inch-pounds. With the handles installed in the door, we'll pause on the vapor barrier and test the functionality. Perfect. Let's install the vapor barrier now. The handle itself will go through this smaller hole. Now we can rest this in place, aligning it as needed. If it feels as though it doesn't want to stick, you're going to want to make sure you tape it on there with something. Now it's time for the door panel. On the door panel itself, you know that it does have those locking tabs that make their way across. Looking at the door, you're also going to find that you have the mounting points. Align everything as needed and press it into the locked position. With it pressed into position, let's install our 2 mounting bolts here. And get the trim panel on here. We have the lower port for our handle to slide through. Press it in. Listen for a click, make sure it's secured. Okay friend, we fully installed our inside door handle. We've already tested the functionality. Go ahead and close the doors and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.